Hello, Flosstube. This is Rhea. I am known as the Blue Coast Stitcher, and this is Flosstube number 2 for me. And the date is, I have my notes here this time, Friday, September 29th, 2023. I know today's Friday. Don't ask me the date. 2 weeks from now, I will be at Jacob-Palooza weekend number 2. And then 3 weeks from now, we close on the new house. As I mentioned in my first video, we are moving, and it's a big move. And we've been in this house for 21 years, as I stated, and family of 5 in 21 years, you accumulate a lot of stuff. And we are surrounded by boxes. The garage is full of boxes. I've done 2 runs to Value Village, which is like a secondhand store. They take donations. 2 runs where my SUV, which is quite large, was full. And we did a large item pickup for our garbages. So we had a huge dump. I emptied the garden shed, pool house. We worked on the garage, and there was stuff for the staging that we had removed from the house that we knew we wanted to get rid of. So that all went to the curb on the weekend, and garbage pickers came through, and by garbage morning, Monday morning, I would say 90% of the stuff was gone, and we unfortunately exceeded the limit of large items that the region would take. So we have to do a dump run, but c'est la vie, it is what it is. It is mind-numbing to think how quickly this is all coming up for us. And as you notice, I'm in a new location. Last week, or last Flosstube, which was a few weeks ago, I filmed upstairs in our family room. Now we are in the basement, and this is my craft room. At least what's left of it. The staging, we've kind of purged all and everything, and it's currently being used as a temporary office. I'm on a laptop, so I come and go up and down, but I need some place to store client files, research that I'm reading, papers, etc., etc. Anyways, so we are in what is now my craft studio for the next 3 weeks. And then I will be looking for tips and ideas for the new craft studio in the new house. The key component, if you look behind me, is this armoire. That is the central focal point. And then there's just odds and ends. My in-laws used to own a scrapbook store, so that was like one of the display cases. That's just a crappy old bookshelf that come or go. I'll probably replace it in the new house. This armoire I won. Forget how many years ago. The kids were little. So there was Scrap Fest in Paris, Ontario one weekend, and I had signed up with it with my girlfriends, so I was big into scrapbooking at the time. And then unfortunately, my husband, who was traveling a lot for his business at the time, was gone that weekend. So pivot plans. So I was able to go the Friday and put my name in a draw for this handmade solid wood armoire for crafting. And it was one of those weekends. Amanda, I think she had brownies weekend, a Saturday event for all the brownies and Girl Guides in the area in town, which is about 20 minutes away. Our son had something going on, I think, for beavers as well. And then the oldest, Laura, I don't remember. It was just one of those weekends where bad timing. So I wasn't able to attend the final day, the Saturday of the Scrap Fest. And I just remember I sat down, it was in between runs, and I was just sat down with a cup of tea. It was the end of the day. And it's like, okay, I got 10 minutes before I got to head out and pick up Amanda from whatever event she was doing for brownies, Girl Guides. 20 minutes away. So let me catch my breath. And then my cell phone rings and it's one of my girlfriends and she's like screaming at me. I couldn't hear her at first. I said, slow down, slow down. And she's like, you won the armoire, because this was the grand prize for the weekend. And she said, somebody said, well, she's not here. She can't have it. And my friends, they spoke up and said, no, she's like 10 minutes down the road. So I don't even think the company makes it. It was a husband made it for the wife and started a little business. I think they were from the Windsor, Chatham area. I can't remember. And they delivered it for me and put it in the basement. And then my husband comes home from business and he walks into the basement. He's like, where'd that come from? And it's like, I won it. So it's going to come with us, and that will be the focal point of the new craft room. Also, remember last week, let me pull this. Let me pull back, there we go. Remember this? And I said, I have the pattern, but I don't have the threads, but I had a feeling they were. In my packing, I found the threads. Whoops. The threads for the carousel horse. And I found the pattern, and it was a dimensions kit. I was correct, called carousel horse. And so I have the pattern, I have the threads now. This over 30-year-old project, oh yeah, here's the very sad. So this 30-year-old project, hopefully I can finish probably in 2024, because I think by the time we actually move, and then we won't have internet for the first week after we move, there will be no internet access. So yeah, it'll be a bit crazy, and we have to get a new washer and dryer installed. Even though it's a new build, it comes with everything but a washer and dryer. So this will probably have to wait. And then I also found, remember I said my mom did cross stitching? This was one of the pieces I found. I could not find the pattern, and I know it's not 100% finished because there's going to be back stitching. Let's see if I can get it. It's wrinkled, sorry. I have no idea where my iron is, or ironing board at this point in time. I do have ironing to do, but I just don't know where it is, because it's in the garage somewhere, which is Dave's domain for packing. So I think I'll just frame it. There was no pattern, and I can tell it's missing. There's some back stitching. Most of the back stitching's done, but not all of it. Like she started his suit and just, come on, camera. Oh, anyways. And it looks like she didn't ever finish the back stitching of it. So anyways, I'll see what I can do with it. Okay, so let's start off with some WIPS. A lot of stuff's packed up. I have decided, if you follow me on Instagram, that I'm going to stick with one project between now and the move here at home, which is on my Hearthside Crafts floor stand. So I've started packing up everything else, and I'll explain why when I get to that pattern, but I have two other WIPS that I had on scroll rods that I have decided that I'm just going to pack away. So I'm going to show you what they are. So it's 3 WIPS all together. So let's get on with the first one. By the Bay, Harbor Haven. There we go. It's the Harbor Haven, and I'm doing the full, it's a bit of a glare. Come on. Anyways, I'm doing the full 12 scenes, I believe. I've done scene 1 and 2 so far on, I've made notes, 28 Lugana, hand dyed by Peggy Lane. Do not ask me the name of the dye of the linen, using the called for DMC. And this is scene 1 and 2. There we go. So that's gonna get rolled up and put away till after we move. Yeah, there's a lot to be found. And I gotta get my office set up in the new house, reach out to clients. I have some clients I have to reschedule. Anyways, so good times. So the second WIP that I'm going to be packing up with on its scroll rods is Modern Folk Embroidery, Isabella's Heart. It keeps wanting to look for my face. I'll just hide. So, and this is stitched on 32 count Roxy Flosstube blank slate with the called for threads. Hopefully it is in focus for you. I don't have a board. I did have a bristle board. I don't know where it went. So hopefully it shows. What I'll probably do is take this booklet with me for Jacob to sign at Jacob-Palooza. But because it's on a scroll frame, I don't want to take it to Jacob-Palooza. I'm going to take, I'll show you some projects I'm thinking of taking that I can throw on Q-snaps. And there's cat hair all over this room. This is where I've been working, and Athena, she's the long-haired one. So we have two cats, as I mentioned last, Artemis and Athena. Both are rescues. Athena was a litter dump in our town, in our village. And she was one of at least 3 that we know that got rescued. She was the last one, and that was us who captured her with our raccoon trap in January of 2020. And the move, surprisingly, is affecting Athena, who always seems more confident and sure of herself, because that's just her personality, is really affecting Athena. And we think it's the boxes. It would not surprise us if her and her siblings were put in a box and taken out. And I don't know if the family that were cruel to her and did this to her were moving, but she is very distressed. And so she's constantly, I have my door closed so she doesn't come in, on our chests. And she's long-haired, and then cat hair gets everywhere. So the third WIP that I have right now, which is one that I'm going to be working on probably up until I leave for Jacob-Palooza, because when I come back from Jacob-Palooza, I'm going to hit the ground running when I get here, because it's the last scramble to get everything packed and out and ready to go. We've decided to take the 2 cars in to get snow tires put on and pick up. Right now they store our, depending on the season, tires. So right now the snow tires are in storage. So we're going to get the snow tires put on the cars. Figure might as well do it now at the dealership, and then take what's the all seasonals back home with us, and then the movers can move the tires for us. So it's going to be insane. And I'm going to work on this until I leave for Jacob-Palooza, which is that Thursday. Don't ask me the date. I just know it's weekend 2, and I'm leaving the Thursday so I can get up fairly early and start my day on Friday. Anyways, this is, I got this as a Christmas present last year from my husband. Winter Kaleidoscope from Modern Folk Embroidery, and it's a doozy. It's a big one. I think it has a total of 80,656 crosses. If you choose to stitch this, there is a remaining. Yeah, it's big. It's huge. Anyways, I am stitching it on 32 count dirty porcelain, excuse me while I reach, from Roxy, with the thread I'm using is mulberry. It's monochromatic, and make sure, okay, I've got it upside down. So it's a big one. I literally just started this on my birthday, which was August 21st. That was my birthday start. And so I kind of flipped between this and Isabel's Heart and something else that I can't remember up until September. And then I've just been, whenever I can stitch, I've been focusing on this. So I'm started in the middle, and I am about 2/3 of the first page of the pattern. Yeah, and this will be my focal point. What I like about focusing on this one is that it's only one thread color. So by the time I'm done working and doing some packing during the day, at the end of the day when I get to sit down and stitch, I can just thread the needle and stitch a bunch. And I find that's just the easiest with where my mental capacity is at this time. There's just a lot going on in my head. So that's my focal point until Jacob-Palooza. Now let's talk about haul. So this is a mixture of stuff I bought at Stitch North, and then I started kitting things up through Stitch 1, 2, 3, etc. And this is what I had. I placed a 1, 2, 3 stitch order to kit some projects up. And it came, and I realized I screwed up. So then I missed some threads. Like one project, I missed 2 types of threads, and another project, I missed 1. So I had to place another, isn't that terrible? I had to place another 1, 2, 3 stitch order. And I can't, it's coming from the States. I can't justify having just a few skeins of thread in the order. So a few things fell into my shopping cart accidentally, on purpose, you could say. So that's the story of how this haul worked out. So it's a mix of new and just patterns I had in my stash that I was working on kitting up. I'll probably wait to start these kitted projects in the haul till after we move again. Again, I just have to see how things go with everything. So here, let me move this over. Hopefully this all works better. So I signed up for Evertote and Roxy Floss Co. Floss Club, monthly Floss Club. And so this is older, but I didn't want to share it too soon because I wasn't sure who got it and who didn't. Brights and Neutrals, I think it's called. So this is September's. Oops, let's see. Let me see if I can fan it out for you. It doesn't know where to focus. It is so confused. But you can see the colors. Maybe if I stand back. Such pretty colors. So I have currently a pegboard with hooks over there that I have a lot of threads hanging, and usually it's the hand dyed. My DMC is somewhere else. Don't ask me where. So that'll be getting packed up soon. So that came. So I was at Stitch North 2023 last spring, and I picked up this pattern from Pastime Pieces, Cottage Garden, the Bear. And I found this fabric. I don't have the flosses yet. I think it's Weeks Dye Works or DMC. I haven't decided yet. I haven't fully kitted it. I just got some fabric that I found. 32 count Laguna. And I don't know what the name is. Helix. Helix. There we go. And I don't I just thought that would be, again, the lighting's not the best down here. Hopefully in the new space, it's gonna be in the basement again, but the basement has big windows, so hopefully it'll be better. Anyways, so hopefully that'll go, we'll see. So this is a pattern that I picked up on most, I think, yeah, there's only a few here. Yeah, there's 3 here that I picked up from Stitch North that I decided to kit up. So this is Teresa Kogut, Strawberry Manor. I saw her on her YouTube video. Oh my goodness. That's it. So I picked that up, and this is the one that I ordered the fabric. I picked my fabric, and it is 32 count vintage country mocha Belfast linen. It's one of my favorites. I did Salem Sisters 3 on this. I just love the modeling. And then the called for DMC. I've just put it in a baggie. Threads, and then the called for Weeks Dye Works. Sorry. Let me see what we got here. I'm usually more organized than this. Now this will get packed in a box when I'm done, but it had a lot of threads, the palette. So anyways, I'm looking forward to doing that one. It's a beautiful piece. I just love it. I absolutely love it. Hopefully it can be part of the WIPS in 2024. That's my plan. Okay. And then this one. I had my eye on this for a while. And Pastime Pieces at Stitch North, she had it for sale with some of the threads. So I had to get it because if you look behind me, blue's my favorite color. Blue. It's one of my favorite colors, blue and red. I don't know. Maybe it's the Dutch in me. Anyways, it's Rosewood Manners, a Tisket, and a Tasket. And I've seen a few Flosstubers complete this, and it's a stunning piece. Stunning. So I got that. And this one and the Teresa Kogut, they were the two that I sat down with the first 1, 2, 3 stitch order and realized, oh, I missed one thread color for this one, and I missed 2 DMC thread skeins for Teresa Kogut. And it's like, yeah, winner. But it is what it is. Now this one, I am using the called for Weeks Dye Works threads. And it's a beautiful palette with all the blues. And I'll give you an idea. And I decided on, I'm fumbling here. I should be better prepared. See, lessons learned. Always lessons learning. Picture this plus 32 count Laguna in vellum. And I believe vellum is what, yes, the sample on the picture is stitched on is the vellum. And then I'm not going to grab all the threads, but I think, oops, it's going to be stunning. Absolutely stunning. So allergies. Gotta love allergies. Anyways, so and then this is another pattern from, excuse me, I also picked it up at Stitch North from 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers. And again, as I said before, I love historical samplers. I am a history nerd through and through. And Leanne, her work just makes me go, wow. And I love it. And I picked up a few patterns of Leanne's at Stitch North 2023. And I decided to kit one, which is My Precious Jewel, Anne Alice Townsend's work, aged 9 years, 1841. And I love, kind of like Hands Across the Sea and some of the other historical samplers, is that she tries to give a little bit of story behind it. Like she talks about how she got the original sampler, because here's the original, the history. I just love that. And a bit history about this, and a history on how long it sat in her collection. She doesn't usually have too much history, I don't think, on this particular person, and I love how she does the charts in big, easy to read, colored patterns. And so I got the Called For Threads, which is a mix of Gentle Arts and WIPS Dye Works. And give me 1 second here. And I had to put it in. This is a Little Boat 88 project bag. So yeah, Gentle Arts, WIPS Dye Works, threads, Called For. Can't wait. And they're gorgeous, such gorgeous, pretty colors. Roses and taupes and browns, like pinky roses. And then the fabric, I don't know what Leanne decided to put. I don't know if she says what she puts on it, what she put. It's slightly different than what she did it on. I know it's Called For Threads. I don't know what she did it on, but I picked this up from 123 Stitch, which is, again, picture this plus 32 count Laguna in Ancient. And I don't know if the modeling with the blues, I don't know, it spoke to me. Come on, focus, baby, focus. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't tell if it's focusing perfectly or not, but I think that's gonna look really good when it's done. So, as I said, I missed a few skeins of threads, and I could not just have a few skeins of threads come up from the States to Canada from 123 Stitch. So I had to get something else because, you know, support the economy, I guess you could call it. Anyways, I ended up getting Lila's Studios Holiday Quaker because I thought this would be a fun start after we move. I'll probably, these patterns I'm going to keep close at hand so I know where they are in the massive boxes that are coming. I just got the Called For, and it's in the bag. Come on, focus. DMC and Gentle Arts, Called For threads. I ended up picking up some more of the Picture This Plus Ancient, but I'm not 100%, it's still in plastic, convinced that I want this piece on it. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pack it away. Movers are coming soon in a few weeks, and look at it with fresh eyes, fresh perspective. A couple weeks after I moved and things, all the emotions and everything has settled down, then I'll take a look at it. I have other fabric in my stash that would work with this, but I'm just really loving the Picture This Plus Ancient. It's just with the blues. Oh. So that's it for haul for now. When I come back from Jacob-Palooza, there'll probably be already some. I already ordered some. I ordered the Holiday Countdown and Leanne's. So if you follow Caroline, you know, Leanne from 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers and Caroline from Evertote did a collaboration where they're doing sections. So Leanne bought a larger pattern and then they're releasing sections. So during Stitch North 2023, they released the first section of this pattern. It's going to be separate pieces that you can make into a quilt or whatever you want with it, but they're each is stitched separately. And so she released the second one, so I ordered that for pickup when I'm at Jacob-Palooza. And I might find something else that works with this. I don't know. Oh, Little Boat 88. Gnomes. So, I don't know. Again, I'm going to wait till we're settled in November and sit down and look at it with fresh eyes and a fresh perspective. Maybe a mind that's not going in a million different directions of what I need to do and what needs to be done and stressing out over all the chaos, because I don't like chaos. There's a lot of it. So let's talk about Jacob-Palooza. I'm getting ready to go to Jacob-Palooza on weekend 2. I'm going to probably bring these along just for Jacob to sign. I'll bring the books and leave everything else behind. But I signed up for the big ass Frisian sampler. As I said in my previous video, I'm Frisian myself, so it's a little bit of my heritage. I'm first generation Canadian born. My parents were immigrants, and I never learned to speak Frisian. My mom would have family over and I would hear it. It's a very different language than actual Dutch, which comes from the Netherlands, and then each province has their own dialect. My dad was from Groningen, and that's more of a Gronings dialect, which is more because it's northern borders with Germany, so it's got very dramatic German sounding tones when they speak that dialect. And then my mom was from Friesland, and that's the northwest of the Netherlands, and it's a completely unique language. A lot of our English language that we speak today has its roots phonetically from the Frisian language. Is one of the languages that has given us the foundations of our English language. And they're descended from the ancient Frisian tribes. They're one of the ones that they talk about in the history books. Again, I'm a history nerd. So, and I know it's a big piece, but I know I might get tired of stitching just on that. So I'm probably going to bring a few more. And I picked out, before I sealed up the box, some patterns that I thought I could take, because I want patterns that I can fit on a Q-snap. So it's easy to take to the conference center and work on. And then I usually leave my projects on the table because Caroline and crew lock the doors to the conference room that our stitching is in. So, but I don't want to take too much, and it has to be easy to stitch. So, excuse me while I reach down. So I picked out 5 projects. Grand wishes. The first one is How Doth the Little Busy Bee, a Beekeeper's Pincushion by Modern Folk Embroidery. And I have a fairly good start on it. It's not a big piece. I don't remember the name of the material. I might have the 32 count Night Owl. And the thread is Tournesol. It's a yellow Tournesol. So I got a good start on it. Again, these are wrinkled because they've been in my bags. So I'll probably take this because it's a nice small one thread color piece and have Jacob sign my book. See, that's 3 that he has to sign. So that will probably come with me, definitely. What's this one? As you can tell, these are Evertote. Okay, remember my first video I talked about, I started with Stitch Essential in London when they were in Ingersoll. Before they were in London, they were in Ingersoll. And I picked up a Blackbird's Chart Loose Feathers Abecedarian series. And then I ended up hunting down the rest of the charts. So this is the one that I picked up. This is number 4. And called for DMC. Don't know what the material is. It's a mystery fabric. It's not Country Mocha. Kind of looks like it, but it's not. So, again, it's wrinkled. I gotta start. I'm definitely gonna take this because I really, really love Blackbird and just, oh, the colors. Just stunning. What's this one? This is Tiny Modernist. Again, I picked this up in Stitch North 2022. Tiny Modernist Mushroom Forest, using the called for DMC, and the material is 28 count ARF linen. I don't know what ARF stands for. Frezzy. So I started it. I've got good progress. Again, it's going to be wrinkled, so I apologize. So, and it fits in the Q-snap. Maybe I can put this behind it and see if that makes a difference. And it fits nicely in the Q-snap. So, and then I'm really loving some of the Tiny Modernist patterns. So that will be coming along. Because probably what happens is I'll probably sit in my room Thursday night doing some cross stitch, trying to catch my breath. I'm an introvert, by the way, so you see me at these retreats, you'll see me come and go, and that's about it. All right, this one is from Park Hopper Bart. Again, it was a Christmas present from Evertote. And I got it as a Christmas present. This is really funny. And I took it with me to Stitch North 2023 recently. And I was hoping to start it because I wanted, my mother-in-law and father-in-law gave it to me for Christmas, the pattern and the thread and the fabric. And I didn't start it till, I usually stay after the retreats are done. I stay that Sunday night and then just leave Monday morning. It's just, I can get some work done, work done, and leave fresh and drive home. So I was going to start this during the retreat, actual Stitch North retreat. There it is, Be Merry All. And I didn't. So I was working on the 1897 Schoolhouse project that was part of the Stitch North release. And that morning I started it and I got like 10 stitches in 2 hours. And then I went to my room and I had half an hour, not even, before I went to bed to work on this. And I got more done on this when I was by myself in my room in 20 minutes, half an hour, than I did 2 hours in the retreat room because, you know, it happens. So Be Merry All is on 32 count Billie Jean. And feast your eyes on this. There's my, oh, come on, focus, focus. Oh. Anyways, and the called for Roxy Flosco threads. So I would like to get some progress on this. And the final project I'm planning to take with me is a project I bought for Stitch North 2023. Caroline had it all ready for me. I love this project. And it's a Jacob. So I'm going to start this one. I've seen some people working on it. Like on Flosstube, I'm pretty sure there are some people that have shown their progress on this, even on Instagram. So it's Modern Folk Embroideries NGD 1699, a Dutch flower sampler. And the colors are just outstanding. So Jacob originally charted it with DMC, and of course they did a Roxy Flosco conversion. So those are the threads I picked up, and from $16.99. I mean, come on, that is pretty amazing. And 32 count porcelain. And then, let me see if I can dig up the threads for you. These are the threads. Absolutely stunning. Oh, it's going to be beautiful when it's done. Absolutely beautiful. So, and then Jacob can sign that booklet. And I'm going to get this started while I'm there. And see how far I get. So I'm going to be monogamous until Jacob-Palooza. And then for the weekend of Jacob-Palooza, I'm going to try and stitch as much as I can on different projects. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to Jacob-Palooza. I want to get as much done in terms of moving prep before I leave, so that I can get every little last bit that needs to be done. Because there's always, you know, with moving, there's always these silly little things that you don't think take long, but all those little things that don't take long add up, taking up a long time. So I'm going to be prepared for that. So I'm going to say goodbye. Happy stitching. I've got some packing to do. I'm going to get my Jacob-Palooza project set aside in my tote bag that I will be taking with me. I will put my winter kaleidoscope back on my floor stand and pack up everything else and seal up the boxes. Oh, and I got to get my meal book ready and stuff for Jacob-Palooza. I'm going to get all that ready to go. And then uncue snaps in my tote bag. And then you might not hear from me probably till sometime in November. I'll give you a quick recap of how Jacob-Palooza went, how my move went. We'll see if I can share some bits of the house, or is it still complete and total chaos. I don't know. We'll see. It's been over 21 years since I moved last, and I had a lot less stuff the last time I moved because the kids were a lot smaller, and we only had been in a small semi for 5 years, and now we've been in a 2,200 square foot house for 21 with 3 kids and all their stuff. And they didn't take everything with them when they left, as normal. So anyways, I hope you have an enjoyable weekend. We're supposed to have a beautiful weekend here in Ontario this weekend. It's supposed to be low to mid to high 20s, depending where you are and the day of the week. I suppose as the weekend goes on, it gets warmer, so I'm looking forward to that. And happy stitching, and we will see you in November, and hopefully I can give you a recap that the move went smoothly without a hitch. We didn't lose a cat. That's my biggest concern, is losing a cat. We have drugs for the cats. Artemis is our wild card, so that'll be fun. And it's exciting times. And take care. And hopefully I can get a Flosstube up in November and say, I actually did some stitching. And maybe show you my start that I'm going to do with the Dutch flower sampler at Jacob-Palooza in a few weeks. Or 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Oh my God. Take care.